Hello everyone,
Hey.
welcome back to another episode of Deysel Farm. And some interesting things happening here. We have to start at the beginning to sketch the full story. So when we arrived at the farm in September 21, we had some really bold ambitions. We quit our jobs, we bought a house on Hemnet that we've never seen other than on the internet.
Yes. Yeah.
And we decided to start a farm in northern Sweden. So we packed up, left South Africa, and had some of our stuff shipped.
Yes. Some. But mostly we came to an empty house.
Sure.
That we had to sort of jungle our way to the front door when we got here because nothing was here. No one had been here for at least as long as COVID.
Yeah.
So it was pretty overgrown. Wild, very wild.
Yeah. And to be honest, I mean, even though we did see the house inside from on the videos, it was actually, when we opened up the front door, it was actually in great condition.
It was clean.
It
was clean.
Yeah, I mean, we had to do a lot of work on the house to make it ours, but we always knew that.
So one of the tough things about moving here, we had all these things we needed to do, and quite frankly, we didn't know where to go, who to speak to, what things were called. So it was a bit of a struggle, like finding everything we needed to set up the greenhouse and find gravel, and it was just crazy finding all those things. And then with that, alongside that, it's setting up ourselves with migration and certificates and all the admin, and then also trying to be parents and, having some time for ourselves in between as well, which was tough.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, and even like basic things like getting your new driver's license again, because we couldn't we couldn't just port our licenses over, so we had to start at the very, very beginning with risk training and like sit in a classroom and listen to people talk about the dangers of alcohol and stuff, which is all good. But I mean, if you've been driving for
20 years,
kind of feels like you know that. Yeah, so on top of all these house renovations and like trying to be good parents, like obviously also setting up a business, registering a business, we had about 2 hectares of pasture land that we wanted to reclaim for future use. And we quickly realized that it was obviously super overgrown, so we didn't know where all the ditches were, and like we got stuck in it regularly. The grass was like probably over a meter tall, and it was fun reclaiming it,
So it didn't stop us from taking a walk in the super, super long grass. We found out, it was at that point we found out there were ditches, because you would walk in this long grass and everything looks the same, and the next minute you're in water.
But alongside everything that was happening, it was also really, really great to have an opportunity to meet the locals and especially the people in the little village that we stay in.
Yeah.
And they were all so welcoming, so friendly.
Yeah, from the minute we got here, basically, I mean, our neighbors had come and introduced themselves and how can we help, and they really did stretch out their arms to us and guide us and help us with things like where to find the mains for the water in this house, for example. We didn't know
basic things.
Yeah, and the fuse box. I mean, where we come from, we had the fuse boxes with the switches, and here it was the fuse boxes. It takes like a little fuse and you screw it in. It's just like, it looked so weird when you first saw it. We're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah, and so we obviously we were used to like the newest type fuse boxes, which you also have in Sweden, but we never had the old style, because we bought a really old farmhouse, so now like screw it in and figuring out and 3-phase power
and then trying to figure out which phase is what, and fun.
Yeah, and I think also like in the beginning it was kind of weird because people are so friendly, and it's not weird that people are friendly, but in South Africa, you know, like if someone strange is like that friendly to you, there's always a like, what angle are you playing, guy?
You question it.
Yeah,
you question it.
Like, what are you gonna sell me something? You're gonna take my shit? So obviously we didn't think that of our neighbors. It's just, I mean, you grow up with this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, like you very seldomly know your neighbors in South Africa.
Yeah, so we very quickly found a thing, obviously, for our business. So what they call a manskapsboard or a barracks or a big board, but it's a freestanding structure that's well insulated, that we thought that we could actually do our farming in. And this thing was actually perfect. I mean, it was a hunk of trash that we obviously had to fix.
You'll see in the videos. It was a lot of work to restore that.
Yeah, and we got it for like a really great price, and everything just really, really worked out. You know, it's a miracle how things just really, really worked out that way. But we also had to put it down somewhere, you know, and this thing weighing well over 20 tons, you know, and our soil being clay soil, the area we wanted to put it on, had a lot of work to be done. And there was a lot of ground preparation that we had to do.
And most of it came at the start of winter.
Yeah, because we arrived in September and we wanted to get business ready, you know. So, man, we were digging in the snow, digging trenches.
Yeah.
And
one thing we learned quite quickly moving here to Sweden is whenever you said something about building, painting, anything like that at the hardware store, they'd say, no, we don't do that in winter. We're like, surely, like, how can work just stop in winter? And we quickly learned that is why you don't do things in winter, because you take the soil out and then it freezes before you can put it back in. You drop the gravel down and then it freezes before you can use it. It was a nice learning curve, but it was also something that needed to get done, so we had to push through it.
And all of this actually like took like quite a physical strain on us as well. But a lot of time there was a lot of emotional strain going on as well.
We've had a week from hell. That's why we look so tired.
But
it's the stress of starting a new farm, living a new life, finding everything, and then all these pressures that you need to get done, but your body's saying, please stop.
Yeah. And I think what really, really drives you is, you know, like you're setting up a business, and it's basically like, if this doesn't work, your kids won't eat. You know, so there's no motivation like that, I'll tell you that.
So you push through.
so we remained positive. Anyway, so we had our ups and downs, but I mean, for the most part, we remained positive.
It was fun. It was hard, but it was fun getting it done.
Yeah, of course.
Nothing like climbing in to make you feel like you've had a good day at the end of the day.
Yeah, all muddy and frozen and. So work with the new greenhouse didn't stop with just the ground. That was just the beginning, you know. Then we had to jump in, and it was in a really bad state, you know. And I mean, for example, one wall had to be rebuilt completely, like one outer wall. We were painting the panels inside because it was at that stage your paint would freeze if you painted it outside. So we paint each panel inside and then go put it up outside.
Yeah, but when we say inside, we mean inside the greenhouse structure with a big fat diesel heater. Yeah. Because and even that felt like it barely made a difference in that cold. It was so cold, it really, you still froze even though it was raining.
Yeah. And we replaced inside the greenhouse, we replaced ceilings, floors, walls.
Everything.
Basically everything.
So in moving here, we always knew what we wanted to do and what we wanted to farm. We planned to add at least one industry to our farm every year.
At least for the first 3 years.
Yes, at least for the first every year for the first 3 years. So so far we had started the microgreens within the first stretch of us being here, and then recently we started the mushrooms as well. So the next industry we're planning on going into is broiler chickens. You guys probably saw the video for that. We ran a test run of about 50 chickens this year, just to see how it would go and how we'd handle raising them and feeding them and slaughtering them. That was not so fun, but it was nice having them and, you know, really feeling part of the farm and understanding what farm life is really like. So you know, nothing makes you respect your food more than actually having to raise it and kill it yourself. You know, it's one of those things.
Interesting choice of words, but yeah, it's true. It's true. So we had a lot of ups and downs, and we really learned a lot. We did things that we never thought that we would ever achieve or be able to achieve.
Yeah.
Huge projects.
Massive.
And we transformed, which was basically an abandoned farm, into a working farm and a really lovely house to live in.
Yeah, nice place to be.
And we obviously had really big plans for the future of this farm. But, however, things don't always go according to plan. And sometimes life throws opportunities your way, which you kind of have to take.
And so we will be leaving our farm to start our new journey.
And this is certainly not the end of Deysel Farm channel. And we can't wait to share with you what we have in store. So
Exciting new times.
very exciting. And again, it feels like old times, man, when it's like, oh goodness, what we gonna do?
Back at the beginning a little bit.
Yeah, we're suckers for punishment, it seems.
Telling you.
But so with that, it's goodbye for a few weeks from our side.
Yeah.
And make sure to catch our next video. So switch on notifications, or keep an eye on YouTube, subscribe to our channel, do what you need to do. But we think it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. So guys, stay tuned for what's up next.
We'll catch you soon.
Thank you. Bye.